Hi everyone, this is Kristen with the Tech Reviewer, and today I'm here with some iPhone 13 Pro cases by Mous. These are their clear cases. You've got your iPhone 13 Pro Clarity case, clear case on the back with black sides. Really nice case, but not MagSafe. And then we have the new model Infinity case. This was just introduced last year for the iPhone 12 series. This one's clear on the back, clear on the sides, and MagSafe. And I'm happy to say that this year's Infinity case I think has some really nice improvements as compared to last year's. So let's check out these cases in greater detail on my iPhone 13 Pro in Sierra Blue. So looking at these two case models side by side, we're looking at basically the same size case. These are going to be the same height, they are the same width, and they are also basically the same thickness. So this is different than last year. Last year the Infinity was a thinner case than the Clarity. This year, at least for the iPhone 13 Pro versions, these are basically the same thickness. And in fact, the Infinity has a little bit higher camera bump than the Clarity does. So I think that it's going to provide good protection for your iPhone. Just a really nice case. So looking first here at the Clarity, however, a little bit more familiar case to many of you. The Clarity has a polycarbonate back and TPU sides. It's also got this AeroShock material that goes around the perimeter here. This is Mous's special protective material. It's what gives this case its extreme drop protection. Now Mous says that this is not going to be as extreme in its protection as the Limitless. It says that the Limitless is their most protective case, and I would guess that Clarity is going to be number 2 and Infinity is number 3 because the Infinity doesn't have the magic AeroShock material. But I think all of Mous's cases are really pretty protective, although to be clear, Mous never tells you how extreme its extreme drop protection is. There is no drop height rating for these cases. But overall, I think that they're probably going to be absolutely as protective as most people need a case to be. So putting your phone in the Clarity is pretty easy. Just start on the one side. Make sure both your bottom and your top corners are in there. And then press on your other corners. This is not a very difficult case to get on and off. Once on, we have a very nice fit on here. Not much give over the buttons at all. Little bit of give over your port openings, but really quite minimal. Overall, just a lovely case on the phone. So as is typical with Mous's cases, you can see we've got a low lip here in the middle, and we've got high lips on the bottom and on the top. This allows you to have a nice slim feel in the hand while still giving lots of protection to your screen. I do have a screen protector on here, just installed it. It's the Banks King Kong screen protector. Really nice screen protector, edge to edge. If I didn't have this on here, you would have more visible lip. But even with it, you can still see we've got plenty of protective lip. Even on the low lip on the sides, you still have lip there. So I think that your screen's going to be well protected. Going down here to the bottom, you can see we have symmetrical port openings, even though we have an asymmetrical port design, so that's going to upset some people. Most people won't care. You have plenty of space here, which is going to fit most third-party lightning cables, I think. Shouldn't have any issues there, although of course this case does support wireless charging, so you might find you're using that functionality less than you otherwise would. Going up the sides here, we've got a decent amount of TPU grip on this case. I don't find the Clarity to be excessively slippery, although it's not terribly grippy either. It's definitely going to slip easily in and out of pockets and handbags. Going to the buttons, these are nice and responsive, although do notice that we've got that slit design on the buttons. This makes the buttons more responsive, but also has the potential to let in dirt or dust. And then we have quite a large area here to access the mute switch. I think even really huge fingers will not have an issue there. And then looking at the view from the top, again, a great fit here with the Banks King Kong screen protector. Looks wonderful. We've got our high top lip here and high bottom lip, lower in the middle. And then going over here to our side button, nice and responsive, no issues there. We also have a spot down here for a wrist strap if you happen to want to use one, although one is not included in the package. Looking at the back of the case, everything looks lovely. This crystal clear polycarbonate does a wonderful job in showing off the beautiful Sierra blue of my iPhone. Really nice. So we have a scratch resistant coating on here. However, this material is still going to scratch relatively easily as well as show fingerprints. However, there are some things with the design of this case which will definitely help with that. So if you look at this in profile, you can see we have a high ridge here on the top as well as on the bottom. These look higher than last year's ridges. Mous used to call these fins, and the idea is that if you put this on its back, the majority of the rest of the back of the case is going to be held up on these top and bottom ridges. So therefore you have much less opportunities for the case to get scratched. I think it's really a good design and gives it an interesting look. It also gives a little bit more protection to your camera area because you have just that little bit of a boost here in height. And I have to say that the camera protection here really does need every little boost in height it can get because it's not a very high rim around the protruding camera. So when you consider the bottom and the top ridges on here, you do have just enough protection for your camera, but it's pretty low. It's better on the Infinity case than on the Clarity case, but be aware of that if you're particularly sensitive to protection for your back camera. That's an area where this case is a little bit on the scanty side. So we got a little bit of mouse branding down here at the bottom, not as obtrusive as on most of Mous's cases. Overall, I think everything looks really nice, and this case has a lovely feel underneath the fingertips. Again, fingerprints definitely going to be an issue with this, but yellowing shouldn't be too bad because this is a polycarbonate back on the case, and polycarbonate is very resistant to UV yellowing, so hopefully this is not going to yellow over time. TPU does tend to yellow, but the TPU on this case is black. So I think that you should be in pretty good shape in terms of yellowing. Now, as far as wireless charging is concerned, this is going to work perfectly with regular Qi wireless charging, but because it's not MagSafe, you're only going to have a very limited ability to use a MagSafe charger. So you'll be able to charge via MagSafe, and it's going to charge at a full 15-watt charging speed, but because there's no magnets in here, it's going to be very easy for this to fall off the sweet spot and stop charging. And also, of course, this is not going to be compatible with things like MagSafe wallets or MagSafe mounts. Overall, though, really quite a nice case for the iPhone 13 Pro. I just wish it had a little bit more protection for the camera. Removing this case from your phone is really pretty easy. Just start up at the top and then go down to the bottom and kind of move up here toward the middle, and then your phone will come out. Moving on to the Infinity case, like the Clarity, this is a one-piece case, pretty rigid construction here, not much give. You've got a hard polycarbonate back. Sides are TPU, and I think there's some polycarbonate in there as well. They have a little bit more flex to them than the back. And then looking in the interior, unlike all of the other Mous cases, you don't see a green line of AeroShock running around here. So this is probably the least protective of Mous's cases. However, I still think it should offer very good protection to your phone. Seems to be a very well-made case, and I love the fact that it's MagSafe. So you can feel the MagSafe ring very, very slightly underneath your fingertips. This is different than with Mous's Limitless 4.0 cases, where the MagSafe ring is completely inside, so you can feel it just very, very slightly, but I don't think it's going to be enough to be able to scratch the back of your phone or anything like that. I think you should be in good shape there. Putting your phone in this case is a little bit more difficult than with the Clarity case. It's a little tighter, so be sure both your top and your bottom corners are properly in place before putting on your other side. Once on, we have really quite a good fit on here, pretty similar to the Clarity. There's a little bit of give over your buttons and a little bit more give than the Clarity over your port openings. Not sagging or anything like that, but you can pull it back just a little bit more than you can with the Clarity. But overall, I think that we've got a nice fit on here. As far as lip, it's basically, again, the same as we saw with the Clarity. So you've got that tall bottom and top lip on here, giving protection to your screen, less lip here in the middle so that this feels slimmer in the hand. but you're still well protected as far as the screen is concerned. And of course, you can swipe more easily side to side. That's all good. Just a really nice fit on the phone. Looking down here at our port openings, same as on the Clarity. So again, we've got symmetrical port openings for an asymmetrical port design. Should have plenty of space for most third-party lightning cables, although of course this case is going to support both wireless charging and MagSafe charging, so you might find you're using that functionality less than you otherwise would. Going up the sides, I think that you have a little bit less grip on the Infinity as compared to the Clarity. It's a relatively slippery case, but not too bad because of that TPU in there. Going up to the buttons, buttons are great, nice and clicky. Going to our mute switch, again, tons of space here to access your mute switch. Looking at the view from the top, everything looks great. Nice fit here with the screen protector that I have on here. The Banks King Kong screen protector looks really good with this case. Got that high top lip here. Then going over here to the side, very nice and responsive button. And then we also have a spot down here for a wrist strap, although of course one is not included with the case. Looking at the back of the case, I think everything looks lovely here. This case does a wonderful job in showing off the beauty of my Sierra Blue iPhone. Of course, the MagSafe ring is definitely on full view here, so people who like a pure clear case might be a little bit upset about that because there's no way to get around the MagSafe ring. But personally, I like the look of MagSafe rings, probably because I like MagSafe so much. So whenever I see a MagSafe ring, I say, oh, wonderful, it has MagSafe. So it all depends upon personal preference. Got a little bit of mouse branding down here at the bottom, but again, it doesn't show up as much as on the Limitless cases. And then looking here at these top and bottom ridges that we have, really quite noticeable on the Infinity. Just like with the Clarity, they're going to help reduce scratching significantly on the case by holding the majority of the back of the case raised above a flat surface when you put it flat on its back, because it's going to sit up on these ridges. So I think that that is a really good feature. As far as fingerprints, can't really do much about those. Fingerprints are definitely going to show up in a clear case, but I think that any kind of a design on the back of a clear case helps take your eyes away from fingerprints. So perhaps the fact that we've got a MagSafe ring on here is going to help just a little bit. But still, you've got to keep that microfiber cloth handy because fingerprints are going to show up. As far as yellowing is concerned, again, this is polycarbonate, so yellowing really shouldn't be a concern. Where you're going to worry about yellowing is going to be on the sides because these have clear TPU, and clear TPU is sadly notorious for turning yellow. So I think that that is one of the biggest downsides of the Infinity cases. Don't have that issue with the Clarity case. Clarity case, you got the black sides. You don't have that worry about them turning yellow. So personally, I wish that we had different color sides available for this case because then I think it would be pretty perfect. I wish that we didn't have these clear sides, but then again, at least when new, they really do look beautiful. And the back of the case is not going to have an issue with yellowing because, of course, it's polycarbonate. So looking here at the amount of protection you have for your protruding camera, you have a higher rim here than on the Clarity case, so that's going to provide, in my opinion, sufficient protection. It's not tons of protection, it's a huge camera, but I personally think it is sufficient. And again, you do have that top and bottom rim here. I don't actually think that they help at all with the protection of the camera because they're basically all the same height. But they do have the additional benefit of keeping your phone from wobbling about when it's placed on its back, because you no longer just have one thing up here sticking out, you also have this ridge on the bottom which sticks out an equivalent amount. So if you're very bothered by the fact that the iPhone 13 Pro tends to wobble when placed on its back, this might be the case for you. As far as wireless charging is concerned, this is going to work perfectly with regular Qi wireless chargers, and because it's a MagSafe case, it's going to work with MagSafe chargers as well. No problems there. We've got nice strong magnets on the back here. You're also going to be able to use this with MagSafe wallets, such as Apple's MagSafe wallet. Really nice adhesion on here. Although I have to say, Apple's MagSafe wallet is not my favorite MagSafe wallet out there. I think that Mous's MagSafe wallet is even better. This one's got a 2-card capacity. It's made of genuine leather and wears really well. I've had this one for a year. I use it all the time and it never changes. It's got these little micro dots on the back which give it an extra amount of grip on the back of your phone. This is, I think, one of the very best MagSafe wallets out there. Removing this case from your phone is a little bit more difficult than with the Clarity, but not too bad. Just start up in the one corner, push that off. And go down to the bottom, push off that corner, and then you can slide out your phone. Looking at the Infinity in its light gray variant, same clear case, just a different color MagSafe ring. Again, we get the same fit on the phone. Everything looks great here. Not any difference here on the sides or the front. The only difference is in the color of the MagSafe ring on the back. It's just a very nice case on the phone. I think everything looks great. Then looking here at the back, we've got our light gray MagSafe ring here with the Sierra blue. I think also a great combo. I think I actually prefer the light gray to the slate gray with the Sierra blue, but again, all personal preference. Just a really nice case for the iPhone 13 Pro. Again, we've been looking at the Clarity and the Infinity cases by Mous for iPhone 13 Pro. These cases are both available directly from Mous and are priced the same at $59.99. If you're interested in purchasing either of these cases, be sure to check out the coupon code you'll find in the description below because it's going to save you 15% on your purchase. So in terms of color options, the Clarity only comes in a single color, the clear with black sides featured in this review, but you've got two different options currently with the Infinity. You've got one with a light gray ring and one with a slate gray ring. Many thanks to the kind folks at Mous for sending me out these samples to review. If you have any questions about these cases or about anything else, please feel free to put them in the comment section below, and please consider subscribing to my channel because I have a lot of iPhone 13 series accessory reviews coming up. Again, this is Kristen with the Tech Reviewer. Thanks so much for watching and have a wonderful day.